Yes, hello everybody and welcome to the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja, and right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Road to 20, woo, or 21.
Oh, I haven't. I'm trying to fade out, and I have to hit that button too to do the thing that you want to do.
Well, that's 2000. It's not 20. It's just 2000.
Yes,
I'm saying 20. 20.
We are on the road to 20. Yeah. And even bigger, the bigger goal, Francis.
What's the bigger goal?
We are on the road. Well, the music's still going. We are on the road to 2000.
On the road to 2000.
Which includes the obligatory reggae horn. So yes, tell everybody about it. Tell them that we're here every Tuesday night, 7:30ish.
7:30ish.
You know, we try
to do our best.
We do our best. You know, there's things that happen. Sometimes internets need to catch up. Sometimes software needs to be updated. Sometimes your third co-host decides that her professional work life thing, you know, making money,
work
is somehow more important than hanging out with her two best friends.
Which is funny because it's almost like the middle picture is like in memoriam. It's like, well,
I know. I kind of thought about that. It kind of looks like we're celebrating the death of Savannah or something. Not celebrating, but celebrating the life.
We're mourning.
Yeah.
But in remembrance, we put her in the middle.
I don't want to like reconfigure the screen because I'm afraid I'm going to break it.
I'll leave it as is.
You know, so. So Savannah will be back once she stops being a professional, and will come be hanging out with us again soon. In the meantime, though, Francis, what have you been up to, my friend, besides giving Ryan Reynolds all of your money?
I know. I'm going to watch the movie again, I think, this weekend, I'm pretty sure, for round 3. I'm just so in love with Free Guy that I'm probably going to watch it indefinitely, as long as it's in theaters, because I have an A-list pass, which means I can go as 3 times a week. Doesn't matter what movie it is. I can go watch Ryan Reynolds and Jodie Comer and watch them do their thing. I got a PlayStation 5. That's new.
Oh. I have still, Francis, yet to see even a demo, even a fake plastic version of either new generation machine.
So, I mean, it'd be awkward, but I can kind of show it to you because it's on this desk. It's a huge machine. It's a huge thing. It's just gigantic. This thing is about the size of my monitors, which are about 27 inches across. It's huge. And it took me, I've been trying to get one for the last, this is August, 10 months, right? Mm-hmm. Since it was released last year. They have like Twitter handles that you can follow and like apps that you can be a part of, and it'll tell you when it's on sale. It'll tell you, hey, ding, 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 it's time to buy because it's on sale right now. And it sells out like that. And I was lucky to get one this month. And they said, okay, we're going to deliver it to you in October. So congratulations, you got one, but it's going to come in on October. And I'm like, what, October? Really? That's like 2 months from now, I guess. Like, whatever, it's fine.
Right, but I mean, you got it secured, so I mean.
Yeah, exactly. It's in my pocket, quote unquote pocket. Right. It's got secured. And then they're like, oh yeah, we shipped it to you. It's going to arrive October. Like the website's like, it's going to arrive October 7th. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you ship it? And you're just going to hold on to it for like 2 months? Like, what are you going to do?
Right. You quarantine it.
Exactly. No, it was like the moment they said it was shipping, they really meant, oh no, it's coming in that day, which was 2 days ago. And I'm like, oh, thanks. So I got, I am now the proud owner of a very large and very bulky PlayStation 5, but I'm enjoying it because it's fancy and it's pretty. And I haven't played any games really on it yet, but I'm excited to play some games on it.
Well, Francis, it's funny that you bring all this up.
Yeah.
Because this past weekend, I happened to procure a PlayStation 4.
You got a 4, really?
Yeah. Damn it! The text on the screen is so dark I can't see it. Luckily,
it says
I can
that we're
see
playing a car simulator.
it.
Oh, yeah, it does say that. It says Car Mechanic Simulator 21, first time playing. You can change it. You can change it while we're recording, I think.
How? Where?
You have to do it in Twitch though.
Okay, I'm gonna multitask and hopefully it doesn't crash this fucking thing. Well, thank you for letting me know, Lee.
Yeah,
but
we are fixing car in our hearts.
I hated that 20-minute experience. It wasn't even 20 minutes, 17-minute experience so much that I got back onto Steam and asked for a refund.
Yeah,
because it was horrible.
So why'd you get a PlayStation 4?
I didn't run out and get one. One was offered to me, like, hey,
oh nice,
would you like to maybe play this? And I was like, well, yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Wait, well, you're gonna have to give me your handle so we can be friends on PlayStation.
Oh, instead of like, yeah. I'm at the thing where I see
you should be able to edit it.
I see us talking. But I don't see where I can change that.
There should be a little 3-button drop down that should help you, or something. There should be something
that
there
says
that
report podcast. I hate. Oh, edit.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I am so sorry. This whole Twitch thing. I'm new to this thing. Vamp.
Well, look, Lee apparently watched you play, which is kind of funny. That even though you hated it, you at least had an audience watching you play a game that you absolutely hated. I have yet to play a game that I've absolutely hated and I needed to return. Normally, I find some kind of fun in the games that I play, but I also don't ever get simulators. I never buy or ever even borrow a game that's a simulator, that's like a train simulator or maybe a car mechanic. I think the only thing I've ever played that's a simulator was Farmville when that was a thing back in the Facebook days.
Oh,
I think that was the most simulator I did was Farmville. Oh, and The Sims, I guess.
I changed it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is going to slyly try and change the text so I can actually see it on the screen. Other people.
Oh, do you need? I can keep vamping. I have tons. I
have to. I just realized that that's also an issue, so I had to reopen Twitch again. But well, we're doing it live. Damn it, we're doing it live.
Yeah. Look,
I'm doing the best I can.
I know we're doing the best we can with the limited things that we have. We're so sorry.
The limited things here are skill and intelligence, all on my side.
It's just we just didn't get a manual. Like that's the problem with most things is that they don't hand you a manual anymore.
That's very true.
Buy a new video game, you don't get that little booklet inside. No way. You're just expected to know what to do.
I'm gonna have to work on that later. I don't understand where that is.
I just love that that the font is black and the background is black. It's just like, yeah.
I don't know where you would think it would be right here.
OBS will fix it too because it's actually an OBS. You'd have to fix it. You couldn't fix it in Twitch. Twitch is it wouldn't.
So yeah, but when I go to chat appearance, the only thing it gives me is font size.
Well, we'll work on it later. Let's talk about let's talk about what's going on.
So that kind of threw me all off. So
you have a PlayStation 4.
I have a PlayStation 4 that I just picked up. I don't have any games for it. So I'm going to I have to debate on doing that
PlayStation Plus.
Plus.
If you get Plus, you get free games every month.
Yeah, two games a month, which I'm cool with.
And the games you'll play too, which is the fun part. It's like the games you'll actually want to play. So.
Right. And so, and most of their content I know is downloadable. Plus, I think I would be in it a lot for the backwards compatible library, whatever that might be.
Yeah, that's now. If you do PlayStation Now, you get a whole library of old games.
Yeah, which that's what I'm all about. But I'm excited to check it out. I haven't had a PlayStation since Part 2.
Oh God!
Original Part 2.
I was gonna say you missed the worst of it. PlayStation 3 was the worst of them. So
it was a tank, man. That thing was huge.
It was a tank, and it was also really hard to make games for because they had their own proprietary everything, and it was a big pain in the ass. So you kind of worked it out. You're better off.
Well, I mean, I like to think that. Yeah, I like to think that I am. I did find where I can edit the stream from inside of OBS too.
Oh, good.
Just so you know.
All right.
Not edit the look, but edit the stream title and description.
And you apparently cleared the entire chat of the chat room. So
apparently I did that too.
Well, you know you're there, Lisa. Hi. All right. So what are we talking about today?
So I have 3 topics here, and then whatever Francis wants to talk about. But I don't know if, well, actually, before we do that, if you've made it this far and you're not already following, liking, twerking that bell and all the other things you need to be notified that we are here, you should do that. Because if you're already watching this far, do it.
Is it stream live on YouTube?
No. But it goes on to YouTube later.
Okay.
So, it's there. So, yeah, you should do that. With that also said, I want to shout out to a few people, 2 that are new followers. Was it Justin Swaney, 53, and Haas 00312. Thanks for the follows. Come on, hang out with us on the podcast. Watch me play fake cop stuff. It's fun.
Or, get frustrated over fixing a virtual car.
Oh my God. You
want to talk about that first?
Yeah. So Car Mechanic Simulator.
Yeah.
I thought what the trailers and whatnot I saw for it, it looked like it was kind of fun.
Trailers.
Whatever, the little
yeah, no, the trailers. Videos. It's just like,
oh man. But it looked like it was kind of fun.
Okay.
Right. I get into the game and it said, "Do you want to do the tutorial?" And I was like, "Why would I want to do that?" And then I realized right when I hit confirm, that I'm not a computer game player.
Yeah. The computer games are very different because you have a keyboard now to work with.
I have like 120 extra keys I didn't have before.
Yeah, you have shortcut keys to have to play with. You have, oh yeah, it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I got very frustrated. I streamed the game for the first 17 minutes. I played the game. It was raw emotion and raw frustration as I tried to figure it out. The very first car they gave me, it wasn't like, "Hey, change the oil." I got a bad tire. Change the tire. It was like, repair the entire car. And you have to undo every bolt, like manually. You can't just be like, take the tire off, do the bolts, and the bolts come off, And
I bet you that's a VR game. I bet you that works more like a VR game then. That sounds like something you could do in VR. Like, okay.
Right. And maybe there is a version of it that is VR, but holy shit, was it boring and frustrating. And yeah, got on Steam, got my money back because that was just, I couldn't stand it.
Okay, well then I guess the question then becomes, would you rather work on a virtual car or a real car?
This is the funniest thing about the whole thing, Francis, is I don't even know why I bought the game to begin with. Because I don't even like working on cars in real life.
So
I have feelings about the police force, but it's a lot of fun playing them in video games.
Sure.
I have no interest in baseball, but video game baseball was kind of entertaining until I got frustrated with that and got rid of that yesterday.
Yeah, oh, really?
I gave up.
Was it
the show?
The show?
Yeah, I gave up on the show.
The show is like one of the top, like everyone loves that game.
And if you have the time to just suck at it for months at a time and not be discouraged by a steep learning curve, go for it.
Yeah.
I played it for 4 months, and I sucked just as much as I did when I first started playing the game, as far as hitting the ball.
I think that's why I stick to Nintendo baseball games, where it's just like you hit the ball, you throw the ball, that's it.
That's the thing, is that the default swing style is very analog, and I had it dumbed all the way down to Nintendo style. Just press the button to swing the bat, time it. That's it. Pick a direction, and even with that, and I'm sure it's, closely resembles what it's like to be a real baseball player. But if that's what it's like to be a baseball player, I'm glad I chose to be a stoner.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, I mean, why not both? Yeah, it's why I stick to I prefer like basketball and Madden, NBA 2K games and Madden games. Like, even though Madden sucks now, and the 2K games suck now, but back in the day, man, they were great.
Oh sure,
they were a lot of fun, and it was a challenge. Now it's just buggy and broken and weird. So I don't blame you. Sports games nowadays suck. They suck.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sports games. I just feel like they're just rehashes of the original formula. Like, the only thing that changes is we add a few polygons to the characters, we add a couple animations, and the rosters change.
Do you see the sweat dropping down his chin? It's like, oh yeah, we added that. The sweat. Yeah, thanks.
I always knew when I ran the game store that every September, October, I don't know, whenever the hell Madden comes out, July.
Yeah, every October. Yeah.
Yeah, that we were just going to get a mass of last year and the year before's Maddens coming into the store, and like, all right, guys, we gotta turn around and sell these. So let's limit, how many Maddens we take in per week to 5.
Yeah.
And you can't take any in until you've sold at least $75.
It's rough. It's totally rough. But I guess then, because I guess the translation between fixing a virtual car and fixing a real car, it was probably fairly small, and probably why you were like,
here's the thing about the virtual car repair, is that my hands didn't get dirty. Now,
but you like regular car repair?
No, I hate car repair and working on cars. It's just not something I enjoy to do. I guess the biggest thing is, and people may be like, oh, don't be such a wuss, but I hate reaching for tools and they're just nasty, and
all the grease and
everything just ends up on your hands right away. You just you're not there to help. You're not there to commit. You're just here. Hey man, can you hand me a tool? Sure. Oh, I guess I'm helping you work on the car now. I'm filthy.
Yeah, I knew someone who often fixed cars, and their hands were just so greasy and so grimy all the time. They just never bothered to wash it when they ate food, and they eat a burrito and there'd just be oil all over the burrito. Whatever. All right.
And there's only so many times you can do that before you have detrimental issues with your body.
They seem fine, but yeah, it was just something they did.
I appreciate the people that do like to work on cars.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I just can't get into it. Plus, I might be able to take something apart, but no way am I going to be able to put it back together.
Look, man, I own a German car. I just give it to the professionals. I'm like, something's broken, fix it.
Yeah.
I know it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. Just fix it. I don't care. Just fix it. So I understand. It's a pain, and it's not worth it. It's not worth potentially breaking something that you didn't know you could break. Not knowing how tight you have to make a thing, because not everything's supposed to be super tight. Sometimes it's like,
right,
okay,
and
just tight enough.
To be the devil's advocate on my own shit, I mean, there are instructions out there, right? There's pictures, there's diagrams and everything, but I'm not mechanically inclined.
Yeah, but can you read instructions while you're under the car? Like you have it propped up, you're trying to fix something, like trying to do an oil change or something. You're not going to be able to. You just have to deal with the fact that some things are just better left to the professionals.
Now see, when it's my car, right? I have a couple friends that love to do this shit. And if I'm lucky enough to have them give me a hand, I get in there as best I can, but I'm also in the way. I don't have the grip. I don't have the grip strength. I don't have the arm strength to break a lot of stuff. It's not really, that's just not my bag, And then for years, my friends would ask me, hey man, hand me this tool. And I'd be like, sure. And I'd hand them a tool and they'd be like, wrong size. It's because I couldn't see.
Well,
I just didn't know I couldn't see.
I mean, I also don't know what most tools are named. Like you can tell me, like, hey, give me this wrench, and I'm like, a what wrench?
I'll break a little bit of kayfabe right now. My best friend this past weekend asked me to get something out of a certain drawer out of his toolbox.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, the second drawer from the bottom made no sense to me. I'm like, he had to repeat it like 6 times. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. Just point to the drawer that the tool's in.
No.
Like I think
no tools.
I think he got a little frustrated with me because I was finally just like, dude, I don't know what you're saying. Just speak English.
The thing.
He's like, you see the drawer. I was like, yes, I'm looking at it. He goes, see the second drawer down. I was like, yes. He goes, open that one. And I was like, that's the second drawer from the top, man. That's not the second drawer from the bottom. There's a drawer in between. But
well, the thing that for me, oh God, what did you do? The chat room.
It's
not showing up in the chat room. Okay.
It's there. I see it on the screen.
I don't see it. My chat room's not working. So the thing that goes click, click. So yeah, like that's the best way to tell me what
it goes click, click,
Tell
click.
me what the thing that goes click, click, click. And then I'll know, oh, it's,
the ratchet.
The torque wrench or something. I don't know what they're called.
Torque wrench does go click, 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 but you have to make it, you have to go down, click, and then you go back up.
What's the
and
one
you go down
that has
again.
like the little nuts that have like the little, like
ratchet.
It's interchangeable.
Ratchet.
It's a ratchet?
Yeah.
Oh. So which one's the clank? Never mind.
I don't know.
There you go. A little video game humor there.
But yeah, so just car repair is not my thing. I really love and appreciate the people that are into it. I cannot get into it.
I'll repair a computer. That'll do. That's like that's the most mechanical I'll get is like show me a computer that's broken, I'll try to fix it.
Even that, I'm no good. I watched my stepdad tear apart computers once a month. That was like what he did for fun, was tear apart his computer for fun and clean it, and then and then build it all back. And I would watch him do it. I would help. I went to school to be an IT professional, and part of the class was to build a computer. And I struggled through it because it's just like, let's just put this here and put that there, and that was right, and that's backwards. I guess that's not going to work that way. Let's flip that around and put it all together. You forgot, like 8 ribbon cables and this and that. Like, I'll just take the side of the case off and throw the cables into the thing. Just throw them in there and shut the case. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I took a summer class, and then I even brought my computer in to get fixed, and I'm like, oh, all I had to do was pull out the card and put it back in again, and it started working. I'm like, oh, there you go, I fixed it.
I mechanically inclined, I just, no, like I said, I could take it apart. You need something taken apart, Francis? I can tear that shit apart. But even with instructions, sometimes I've ended up with little baggies of important looking shit.
Look,
like,
man,
where does this go, I wonder?
You always end up with a baggie full of extra stuff. It's just the whole part of the building of computers and whatever. Yeah, like I did. I guess I'm not mechanically inclined either. I don't know how to do any of that stuff, but I've been forced to. Like, I had a job in construction for like a year, so I had to learn how to build a wall, and I had to learn how to like patch a roof that my leg fell through. Oops. But like, I had to learn how to do that stuff more out of necessity than anything else.
Sure.
So
and my best friend, he built his basement out, and I was there and helped him for a lot of it, or some of it, I guess. And I mean, it was fun to be there, but I was like, I'm just in the way.
Like, yeah, I mean, not everyone's inclined to be able to build and make that stuff. Like,
if you need something cut, I love cutting wood.
Can you roll things as well for me, please?
I mean, it's a funny story. I rolled a joint a couple weeks ago, and it looked like a Virginia Slim 120.
Oh, geez.
It was just this long, narrow little toothpick of a joint. I didn't have enough weed, apparently. But
did you have like the little extended, like the little
mouthpiece?
Yeah, that extends it out even further.
I wish that would have made me elegant and professional all at the same time. But yeah, so I mean, it's just, I feel like I'm in the way when people are working on things, because real talk, Francis, like, you hand me a tape measure and you ask me to do some sort of like 9/16 or a 5/8 or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what you mean. I will round up to the nearest inch and hand it back to you. And you could be like, you cut it too long. Here's a line. Make an X where you of stuff you don't want, and I will cut that away. But yeah,
I could never do that. Yeah.
People have tried to explain it to me, and it's all numbers, and numbers and me don't get along. Even in the times when I first got into the dispensary, and somebody said, I would love a quarter of this delicious sounding weed, and I was like, I'm gonna help you, my man. And I reached down to get the container that you put a quarter of weed in, and I said to myself, fuck, how much does a quarter of weed weigh? Like, I know
he meant a quarter of a gram, right?
7 grams.
7 grams.
Yeah, that's a quarter. But I know what it's supposed to look like in a bag. When you're selling it to your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But yeah, it was just kind of funny. I was like, shit, what does it weigh? And I got it figured out, but it was just, I had a moment of, plus I was nervous, but yeah, so people that are into that stuff, I'm all for it. You know, name your tools whatever you want, use them, just clean them, wipe them off.
Speaking of wiping off.
Speaking of wiping off points, Francis, everybody's favorite employer of 2020. I just made that stat up.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Last week, they announced, as of, I believe, October 1st, no more explicit content is allowed on their site.
Just leave that up there. If people stroll by our little thumbnail when they're looking through like streams and they see OnlyFans just up there, they're like, oh, I need to check this one out.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll leave that up there for an extended period of time then.
Just leave it up there.
The audio people, there's a picture of the OnlyFans logo on screen. Yeah. But you should be watching it as well. Get a double dose of us. But yeah, as of October 1st, they said no more explicit content. And Francis, I reached out to some some people I know that are content creators on the OnlyFans. And I said, hey, since you're out there already, showing everything to everybody, how about you lend your voice to my little show? You could talk about your feelings on it and everything, because it'd be a lot cooler if you talked about it than two dudes.
Because we don't have OnlyFans pages.
Well, none that we want to talk about.
None that we want to talk about. Yeah. Well, I can't show my butthole anymore. I gotta shut my down,
that's what I was gonna say, Francis. But you beat me to it. That little page you have where you show your stuff, you're gonna have to clean it up. So, from what I understand, and I would love to be corrected, you can no longer show your holes on OnlyFans. You can't not only show your holes, you can't show anything going into your holes. You can't show anything oozing or jetting out of your holes. You can't stuff anything into your holes. They don't want to. They just don't want to see your holes.
There's only one hole that you can put stuff in, and it has to be safe for work, and that's your mouth. You can eat.
Yes. I'm sure you can
drink.
You could probably do a lot of that. But no more. I think you said it before we hit record. No more hustler.
It's all Playboy.
More Playboy.
Yeah.
And I have to be totally honest. I don't have any stake on either side of lewd versus nude. Doesn't really matter to me.
So the bigger argument behind this is like, well, now sex workers originally lost Tumblr, right? Tumblr was its their original home, and then they're like, no more nudity, we're cutting it off, and Tumblr kind of gotten more or less, unless you're a fan of something, Tumblr is more or less forgotten. Nobody really knows. It's like MySpace. Nobody really goes there anymore. I mean, there's still very dedicated people who have fandoms that go there still, because a lot of it's a great place to do fandom stuff, fanfics, things like that. So OnlyFans is losing. Well, they're pretty much saying, hey, thanks for all the money, but now we got to kick you out, right? And it's mostly because a lot of these banking and these financial services are now limiting who they want to endorse. Like Patreon no longer endorses anything porny. It used to, no longer. And now I believe it's MasterCard who is like, no. If you want us as a potential vendor and allow money given to you through us, sorry, not going to happen unless you get rid of the sexiness.
And that's what I saw as well, is that they're trying to get financial backers, and the financial backers are like, yeah, we like all the money that's going through here, but we don't want to see anybody's hole.
Well, yeah. Well, and the picture that everyone seems to be painting is like, well, they are trying to, again, they're trying to make it so that type of work no longer has a home for anyone. So no one will have a place where they can kind of be free and show off that kind of stuff and make money. They now have, they again, as we are, as America is wont to do, we don't like sex, we don't like nudity, we like killing and violence in our movies and our TV shows, in our media. And it's like, yeah, no, none of that sex stuff here in our sacred websites. So it sucks, and I don't know where they're going to be able to make money, because PayPal won't allow it. Like
there are alternative sites, and people are finding those sites pretty quickly.
Yeah, but how long will those last? Because they need backers too. They need that financial.
And that's the thing. I think the same thing will happen is when whatever those alternate sites become the site to go to, those sites that we're used to having, let's just say for argument's sake, Francis,
sure,
$1,000 run through their thing a month.
Yeah.
Right, and they're going to be seeing $1,000 every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to notice.
Yeah. Well, that's why the alternative I think people are saying is cryptocurrency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do it through Bitcoin. Do the Bitcoin
right.
thing. But then people are like, well, Bitcoin. Like, I don't know how stable Bitcoin is. So, I mean, do I feel bad? Yeah. I mean, I think everyone deserves a way to make money, especially if you're hot and you want to show off your bits. Like, go for it. Make your money.
Yeah.
Be hot. Show off your bits.
Do it. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Shit, I might even support you for a month.
Yeah. And it's like, well, but now they have nowhere to go to be able to show off their bits.
Right.
And it's like, well, that sucks.
It does. It does. And I mean, like, I protect kayfabe. I know people that do this, and it's not their sole income, but it has allowed for a little extra freedom.
Well, did you ever see, it made the rounds like a year or two ago, where this one person on OnlyFans, I guess last year, then not a year or two ago, but last year, this woman was like, here is how much I make a month on OnlyFans. Did you see how much that person made? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Minus taxes.
I remember seeing that, but I don't remember details.
Oh yeah, well, minus taxes and minus the cut that OnlyFans got, it was somewhere around like $500,000 a month, right? Like, they were making so much money, and I'm like, and so was OnlyFans. Like, that's the only thing that sucks is like this company's gonna lose so much money. You're not gonna remember that company anymore,
right?
Come whenever this thing, I think it's actually starting this week or something like that, or in a couple weeks, where they're now like, no, you're done. I think you have some time still to kind of clean out your closet of the bad stuff and then be part of the new revolution of OnlyFans. But once you get rid of all those pictures, once you get rid of all those videos, OnlyFans is going to be a memory, and you're going to have to find somewhere else. Like, and I don't know what that new place will be. I'm really curious because for research purposes, I'm very curious. So I'm, I'm like on top of things, so I'm current and I know what's going on.
But I don't know if this is devil's advocate or the other side or whatever other people people say when they have another point.
Yeah, devil's advocate. Yeah.
But Pornhub makes you have to use your credit card through them.
Yeah, but Pornhub had to clean up house recently too.
They did have to, but where they had, I believe, I'm not as up on that as and I'm not really even up on this, but this was hot topic. That they had to get rid of pretty much all unverified accounts and videos, I guess, and certain keywords and certain content. So yeah, it is probably a different landscape than it was a couple of years ago, but I don't know. I don't know what my point was.
Sorry, you froze for like a good 20 seconds.
Well, yeah, it was, and I think that's why it threw me off because I was trying to figure out if you froze or not. So I don't know what people. I don't know what was heard, what was not heard. But
you were talking about you were talking about you didn't really know what was going on Pornhub, but they had to clean up house, and then you kind of explained. I think you were trying to explain what happened there.
So they had to get rid of basically all the unverified accounts and I believe unverified videos.
Yeah.
And then get rid of certain keywords and certain types of content.
Right. Yeah,
there's still a large swatch of content there, so is it one of those things where it's like, all right, we cleaned up and we have this new shiny face for a month or two and then we ease up and start letting unverified accounts back in? And
no,
I haven't. That's not where I frequent.
Well, okay, look, I mean, while the one only female co-host is gone, I guess we should talk about porn now while we can. But yeah, I think that people. So here's the thing. I feel like people who are kind of doing it, it's like a small business, right? Like a lot of the porn on Pornhub is like done by professional companies, big companies that have an established name. They have a studio. They have professional equipment. It's like us versus Joe Rogan, right? Like, yeah, Joe Rogan's always going to win because he has the professional stuff. He's a comedian.
Right,
he has all this,
right.
He has all this back.
He has an executive producer.
He has an executive producer, of which we have lost recently. So
we lost our executive producer, but like he's got a dude that does camera switches.
Yeah, there's a TriCaster, so he can do camera switches, and he can do he presses the button. There's someone out there who's pressing the buttons for him. All he has to do is talk. The other guy gets to do all the work, all the heavy lifting,
right?
Which is great, right? Like that's a professional thing. It's like us where we have to do our little cubes thing because we don't have plus we're not in the same room, so we have to have our separate cameras. We're kind of like everyone else. We don't have a professional setup. We can't make the chat be the color that we need it to be. Like
I don't understand what happened.
But I'm saying like there's people like us who do porn, and they make money doing porn,
right? And
they make money showing off their holes and making people do stuff to their bodies. And they make money doing that. And that's like, look, I don't care. Do whatever you want as long as it's consensual, right? And you're an adult. Do whatever the hell you want to do.
Totally.
But now they have no form of revenue, and therefore we only get the professional stuff. And I hate that. Like, I guess I'm going to just reveal some weird thing about me, but I prefer stuff that isn't like well lit and like perfectly done and like has 17 different camera angles and has like the weird music in the background and like has like they have like their lavalier mics like attached to their collarbone so you can hear them properly
to the necklace.
Yeah, like I don't like that stuff because it's too produced, and it's it's like, yeah, look at this 4D picture for pussy. It's like, yeah, okay. Right. Like I don't need that. Right. Like I don't need that. I like people who are just kind of figuring out things and like, yeah, let's do. And the angles are bad and the sound is terrible and like
Francis,
they don't have any idea what they're doing.
There is video evidence of my naked body that it does exist. And if somebody were to want to get vindictive, which would be weird because it's been 20 years. And who knows if she even still has the mini VHS cassette tape of some hardcore early 2000s amateur action. It would be really cool to see again. No, it wouldn't. It would be horrible.
Well, I guess I'll make mine. I still have mine from 20 years ago.
That's pretty awesome. We should compare notes.
But like it exists. But I'm the only one who has a copy. I'm never gonna put it out there, obviously. Right. But like nobody else has a copy of it. Well, maybe the ex has it, but I don't know. But that's the thing. It's like there's but we're never gonna make money out of that. But there's people out there who do want to make money off of that. Who do want to like do something with that because guess what? Dudes are horny. They will pay. Women are horny-ish. They will eventually pay. And at some point, they will pay money for the good stuff.
Sure. Yeah, it's just something I thought was very interesting to see. It was very shocking. I know a lot of people had a lot of things to say about it, a lot of feelings about it. I did really try to get somebody on here, not necessarily live, but even in like a pre-recorded thing. It just didn't happen, unfortunately. Yeah. But
let us know what your thoughts are on the situation.
I would love for this to reach some OnlyFans content creator and they reach out and we work something out that would be rad.
I want to know if they have an alternative, if they already know where they're going to go next. Like that's the one I'm curious about. Like where are they going to go next?
Exactly. Which kind of that last statement we can lead into my next topic, Francis. with where is Peter Parker going to end up?
Did you see the trailer?
I did. I watched it right before I called you, actually. I watched it on my phone earlier today, and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, No Way Home has a trailer out because a leaked trailer from CinemaCon was released recently, where it was a phone recording a phone that was recording a screen, which was really funny. I just saw a second of it. I'm like, I'm not watching anymore, but I thought it was really funny. Just a couple of things I saw recently. People are talking from CinemaCon, just from today. Those Matrix fans, Matrix 4 has a name now. It's Resurrections.
Plural.
Well, everything was, because it was Revolution. It was originally Reloaded, then Revolutions, and now it's Resurrections.
Okay.
And apparently the clip that they showed was Neo. It was Keanu Reeves forgot who he doesn't remember the Matrix at all. Doesn't remember anything. And the female Neo comes in.
Keanu in drag.
Keanu in drag comes in and tries to, I guess, help him remember that the Matrix exists. And apparently it's really good. A bunch of really good fighting and a bunch of really good special effects. So that's a plus. And Ghostbusters Afterlife, apparently incredible. People are loving it, thinks it's the perfect sequel.
I saw that it was kind of a surprise dropping for some, I guess it was CinemaCon.
Yep. They did a surprise screening,
which I think is pretty rad. And it's even better that it was received well.
Mm-hmm. There's like great nostalgia, good twist. There's a good twist, and it really pays homage to the original so much so. And I mean, it's funny how all these reviews are like, the 2016 Ghostbusters never happened. like they're really kind of like, let's just pretend it never happened, because it's all about how great Afterlife was. But
well, and then as someone that likes a good nipple twist, I'm all for it.
Yeah, which you'll get, I guess. But yeah, so Marvel, because they had to. I'm pretty sure they were waiting for the Shang-Chi movie to reveal this trailer, which comes out in 2 weeks. And like, well, I guess we have to show the Spider-Man trailer, which pushed Venom 2 to 2022.
Oh, really?
Yeah, its original release date was in October. They're like, oh no, they showed the trailer. We now have to move the movie to 2022. The theory is because Venom will show up in No Way Home.
So they're gonna roll with Sinister 6.
Well, they showed at least a Goblin grenade, and they showed Alfred Molina.
Yeah, that was pretty rad.
I was like,
that seems to be
I didn't
everybody's
like the aging, but I thought it was really good.
That seems to be everybody's big pop moment,
mm-hmm.
Where everybody pops when they see the trailer. They're like, oh shit, it's Doc Ock.
Well, the way he says Peter Parker, and it's just in that familiar Alfred Molina voice. It's like, oh man, that was great. And it's also confirmed that Jimmy Fox is back as Electro. They have behind-the-scenes photos of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in their spider suits.
Now, I am going to send to you, Francis, something that I watched. I'll do it later. But it was posted on August 1st of this year. It looks like it's being shown in a theater. It is a trailer for No Way Home. And in this trailer, you do see the Spider Boys of Maguire and Garfield in the same
I want to
trailer.
see that. I know people don't want to see that in the trailers, but I want to see that. That's not the camera version of it? That's not the little cell phone of a cell phone?
No, this was a cell phone on a theater screen.
Oh.
Now, this is either one of the greatest fakes I've ever seen, or this is somehow a real trailer. But I will send it to you, and you can digest it and figure it out for yourself.
But yeah, I'm excited for whatever this movie is. I mean, I feel like I also think this is going to sound terrible, but I think this is their way of getting rid of Zendaya and putting in an actual Mary Jane versus a Michelle, Michelle Jones, I think her name is. So they might. I think this is because she forgets, right, and Ned forgets. So it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Oh, I know, we're gonna put in an actual Mary Jane or even a Gwen Stacy. Right? Because he's still young enough. He's still young enough for Gwen Stacy. Yeah.
So I still think that my theory though is still valid, where we're going to see the scene of Toby Maguire attempting to stop the L train, but it's going to be new Spider-Man in place of.
I mean, I hope they don't do retreads of previous movies in that way. I would like to see new scenes, but
I think we're gonna get both. But if they can come into his world, why can't he go to theirs?
True,
right? And I just want to throw it out there,
yeah,
so that if it does happen, it's like, hey, I said it like 2 years before, or a year. I think it's in December, but I've been saying this shit for a long time now. That I think some of the big moments from the other, if that's going to happen, if they actually have secured those two guys, then I think that we will see small recreations of their big moments, but with new Spider Guy in place of.
Huge apology to Andrew Garfield, but I don't think there were any big moments in either of his movies. Like, I can't remember a single, there's a lot of big moments.
He might save Gwen Stacy. Ooh, ouch.
Oh, that would be cool. But that's it, right? Like, I'm trying to think, what the Electro stuff was meh.
Right.
The lizard stuff in the first one was meh. Like, I don't remember.
You see the lizard in this trailer.
Well, they think it's either the lizard or it's Venom. That shadow, right, that you see.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, this is everyone's theory. I don't believe it, but when Peter Parker's looking through all the paperwork and all the files, that
Daredevil.
the person handing them those files is Matt Murdock from Daredevil.
I've seen that rolling around too.
And I'm like, I don't think so.
And I'm not even a Daredevil fan, so I can care less. It can or it can't.
I'm a Daredevil fan, and I can care less. I can care less. I'm like, yeah, fine.
You're never gonna sell me on a blind lawyer that's a superhero. It's just never gonna work on me.
Well, again, he got it. He what gave him his superpowers was the same ooze that made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Remember that? So that's how he has his powers. That he's able to see. That he's able to kind of have the bat hearing and the whole sonar thing.
Right.
So it's really because of the
ooze.
TGRI. It's all TGRI and their ooze.
Nice. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I like this Spider-Man. He's fun.
Yeah.
And J. Jonah Jameson, that guy, whoever that guy is,
J.K. Simmons,
that guy, he's back.
Yeah, a lot of great comebacks in this movie. Like, I wish I could think of another great comeback though.
Well, there is the other rumor that I saw swirling around today. Funny use of words there. There's a scene in the trailer where you see lightning going across the ground.
Well, that's supposed to be Electro. Yeah.
But the other half of that is you see the ground rising up in front of Spider-Man. Sandman. Oh, that dude hasn't worked in a while. So what's his name? Hayden Panettiere. No. Hayden Panettiere's a gold. Yeah, she hasn't worked in a while either.
Oh.
That's a whole other story there.
But no, I thought there would be other comebacks in other
not,
genres or other things, right? Out of curiosity, would you know of any other comebacks in other I don't know, franchises like wrestling or something?
Well, yeah, actually, I have to hit the buttons. You threw me off there.
Sorry.
I gotta make sure I close a picture before I reopen another picture. Otherwise, it'll probably just destroy everything. Yes, Francis.
Hold on. I'm gonna answer this call real quick. So the person who's on the phone right now is Heather Reed. Hi, Heather.
Hey. That's our agent.
I'm recording a podcast with Josh. You always call when I'm recording this podcast, which is I always find funny. Yeah. Well, and it's really you call every Tuesday night when I'm recording a podcast with Josh, and I'm like, I can't answer the phone, and I haven't answered the phone in a while, so I thought I'd answer the phone now while we're live on the.
Call me back. I mean, there's that.
Well, but we have some show left, so like it would have been late. It would have been late when I call you back, but I wanted to just so that you don't think I'm ignoring you, and just so, and Josh says hello because I know you can't hear him. He's in my headphones, but Josh says hi.
Hello, and I adore him, and I miss him.
Aw, he misses you too.
Yes. We need to re-sign our contracts, I think, but that's,
we need to re-sign our we need to re-sign our contracts with him.
What did he say?
He said we need to re-sign our contracts with you.
Oh my God, I am dabbling and getting back in it. I have so much to talk to you about, so much to catch up on.
Hit me up on Sunday.
I can't. I work 10 to 10, and then
Jeez. All right.
I go home and go to bed.
Well, we'll try to reconnect again, but it can't be on a Tuesday. I podcast on a Tuesday.
It's not every Tuesday. It's every other Tuesday because I only ever work every other Tuesday.
Okay. Well, we will make it. We'll somehow make it work though. But all right. Look,
There are like 5 other days, so
Yeah. Well, I podcast on Wednesday. You call me when I'm doing super. We'll talk. We'll have to talk about it later. You really do call me whenever I'm doing something, and I'm like, I can't answer the phone. I'm doing a thing.
And you never call back any other day.
Well, we're gonna have to talk later. All right.
Yes, we are.
All right. I'll talk.
I love you guys. Have a good show.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
So for everybody that's keeping score out there, and something actually, Francis, we've never really talked about on the podcast.
No,
is that we are or just recently need to be again signed talent under a talent agent.
Well, yeah. So that was our talent agent, and what's funny is she does call in whenever I'm recording something or whenever I'm doing in the middle of something, she always calls. My favorite one was when I was in Mexico and she called, and I'm like, I'm going to put you on speakerphone. So I answered while I was in Mexico on vacation, and it was really funny. This is the second time she's done that where I'm in the middle of or doing something or in the middle of a big thing. But you have to hear the voice of our still agent. Actually, I don't think our contracts have expired, and she actually has been talking about definitely because she now has more time, and conventions are opening up again. Yeah, so we may have someone who can.
And talent agent isn't even the right word.
She's a talent agent, though.
I thought it was booking agent. Booking agent.
She's a booking agent. Well, she books talent though.
But
she books talent to appear at conventions.
That is true, I guess. That is true. So anybody that's out there that wants to see us at a convention, we can get you in contact with the person you need to get in contact with. But yeah, so the picture's been up on the screen now for a little bit. It's actually been up on screen now for about as long as it took the crowd to calm down a smidgen bit for CM Punk to return to wrestling. Now,
all right, I'm a wrestling noob. Who is CM Punk?
CM Punk. I gotta pull the curtain back a little bit as well. Is that when CM Punk was big in like 2005, I was not watching wrestling. I was off doing boyfriend stuff somewhere with somebody.
Oh,
I had fallen out of wrestling in the late 90s. Maybe mid to late 90s, and then didn't get back into it until like 2016. I always kept score, if you will. I knew the names. I might have tuned in every once in a while just to see what was going on, but I never sat and watched. I was aware of CM Punk. I knew who he was. I knew that he was drug-free. He was a straight-edge dude because that's what he promoted. But as far as his wrestling went, I never saw his matches. So I can't comment on any of that. I know more of CM Punk, the UFC fighter, when he left.
Wait, what? He was a UFC fighter, really?
Yes, for a very short time. UFC. Wow. Well, I think he had 2 matches in UFC, and then he had matches elsewhere as well. And he got his ass handed to him in the octagon. And there's a lot of people that
things. Yeah.
Oh, totally. But he was seriously training as MMA. There were interviews where the people would be like, "All right, well, you're doing this. When are you going back to the wrestling ring?" And he would just say, "No, I'm done with that. Like, I'm moving on." And there was a number I saw on the screen on his return last Friday of 2,766 days it had been since he's been gone.
No, wait a minute. So I see on here, though, it's AEW and not WWE.
Correct.
Huh.
So how can I wrap all of this up? He used to be a part of Ring of Honor, which is like one of the smaller. I don't want to insult the group because they're a big deal, right? But they're in comparison to WWE at the time, they weren't.
Okay.
So he left Ring of Honor, went to WWE. I had a different point. I was going to bring all this up.
Well, I was wondering why he was in AEW now.
Oh, so he left. I think there was a lot of injuries that happened while he was in WWE.
Oh.
And then he left there, was gone, and then did the UFC thing. Said he was never going to come back to wrestling.
So he gets injured and decides to do a thing that's even more dangerous.
Right. Arguably less dangerous in certain circles. Right?
Oh, okay.
I mean,
interesting.
Yes, getting punched in the face is not healthy for you. But, I mean, rarely are you going to botch a punch and end up breaking your neck. Whereas a wrestling move, you could end up breaking your neck for real.
Oh, really?
Oh, totally.
Wow.
Totally.
Oh, wow.
So he was gone for a long time. There was a few things that he would do in the wrestling ring here and there for his friends. There's some video out there of him in full bodysuits. So you can't tell who the hell it is, but he's doing all of CM Punk's signature moves. So that's
who is that guy? He's so good.
It's speculation, right? Because he never showed his face and never showed any part of his body. But looking at this masked person and looking at CM Punk, you can it's the same guy.
Okay.
So I think with the recent success of AEW in the past 2.5-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, recent success. It's they've hit the road running and haven't let off yet.
Oh,
and I think creatively, CM Punk looked at AEW and said, "I think now is the time to go back."
Oh, okay.
Because it's a lot of young indie guys that are in AEW. There's a lot of established ex-WWE guys there as well. But the core of AEW is a lot of guys that were just picked up on the indies. So CM Punk, he's like, I want to work with these young kids that have the same fire I had that got stripped from me.
Okay.
He had what they call a shoot promo where he was, I think it was a shoot shoot, where a work is storyline, a shoot is truth.
Okay.
So I think the promo where he said, there was a part in the promo where he said, I had to leave the place that made me sick in the first place, which was a shot at WWE.
Oh, geez. Okay, sure.
And then later in the promo, as another subtle shot, I think, to WWE, is that he said, I left professional wrestling in 2005. And then he was in WWE till like 2007 or something like that. But there is no professional wrestling in WWE. There is only sports entertainment. So I think that was a second shot sort of thing. But despite all of that, and not even being around for the hype that was CM Punk in his peak of days, I watched the show on Friday night and popped just as hard as everybody else did in the crowd live. And I might have even had some hot, salty tears welling up in my eyes. And I have no emotional tie to this guy. But it was the fact that he had that emotional tie to so many people. They showed a guy in the crowd that was full on man crying. And
which I couldn't blame him, you know, like,
right.
You know, when you're, it's like seeing old heroes come back, right?
Francis,
people you thought.
No, go ahead. Go.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you may recall when we were in Philadelphia one year, and I'm spacing on his name, but the guy that was on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood that delivered the mail.
Mr. McFeely?
Mr. McFeely. I can't remember what the actor's name is, but I got the chance to interview the guy. Yeah, and in my head, I said, he's going to give me 3 to 5 minutes, and I got to get it all out. Mm-hmm. And just in my introduction, I started to crack. And I almost started crying just introducing the guy, because reality was hitting me that, holy shit, this guy I used to watch on TV, who I thought was cool as hell, now wants to talk to me. And this is blowing my mind. But
speedy delivery to you.
Yeah, speedy delivery to you. So yeah, I mean, I almost started crying at the very beginning of an interview. That would have sucked. I mean,
yeah, well, because right? Like, I mean, I haven't had that. Unfortunately, actually, I haven't had that experience yet. I haven't.
With as much shit as LeVar Burton was giving you, I'm surprised you didn't crack.
For who?
LeVar Burton.
Well, I mean, I like him, but
in a good way. He broke your balls so hard in such a good way that it was fun to watch.
Yeah, and it was playful, but it wasn't.
Counselor Troy, she had the ball peen hammer, was just busting your fucking nuts whole time. But like, yeah, she took control, man. That was rad.
Well, she took control because she doesn't like people. I mean, I don't know if you were there for some of that conversation, but she's like, people keep asking the same questions. People do the same things. I'm tired of it. I want to do my own because I don't want people to say the same stuff I've said a million times over. I want some originality. I'm like, okay, I'll be over here. like, all right, obviously you don't need me. And it was a little annoying because I'm like, come on, lady, you know. I'm just doing my job here. Like, this is what I was asked to do. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, but I haven't met anyone of whom, like, I would be, oh my goodness, that is a childhood hero of mine. Oh my goodness, that's someone who I would have a hard time talking to or interviewing. Not yet, at least, because I don't actually know who that be. I think the people who it would be are dead, you know?
Right.
Like, are already dead. Like Mr. Rogers, I'd probably feel pretty. I think everyone would actually feel pretty emotional to be around that dude.
I was also, you know, I was also supposed to talk to Carol Spinney, Big Bird.
Big Bird, yeah.
And remember, I got outed by a guy that some guy that claimed to have been on Sesame Street as a kid.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they said they were on there.
That was the story I got. But even just meeting the guy, I was like, why are you talking to me? But it was really cool that like he and his wife both took time to, you know, just sit and chit chat.
Yeah, we met like really, like, look, a lot of these celebrity types, or maybe they're not. I mean, I don't know what the definition of celebrity is really, but like you got to talk to, for instance, like Kevin Sorbo, right? Who I would consider a celebrity.
You know, instead of taking a picture with the guy, I should have just had him, you know, do the disappointed thing so I can have the sound bite of it. I should have. I just thought about that.
Well, next time.
Next time. Yeah, because you know,
like, we're given opportunities to do these kind of big things, and I think the CM Punk fans who got to see him again, yeah, it's like
bring it back. Yeah,
it's like if Macho Man was still alive and he came back to the ring, like people would be like falling over themselves.
Oh yeah,
right.
I mean, even when I was going to shows a lot for WCW back in the day, when people would pop up that I watched as a kid that are not, you know, that used to be in WWF at the time, we're now in WCW. It was really awesome to see, because it's like, holy crap, I used to watch this guy growing up, you know, or even a band. There was a concert I went to once, where the person that I was with was really, really, really excited to see Korn. Not for any of the main members of Korn that people you would think would be excited for. She was excited for the drummer, because the drummer was the least scary and freaky of the whole bunch, and she had a huge crush on the guy. Well, Korn comes out, and the drummer is not the least freaky looking guy in the band. The drummer that comes out is the drummer for Faith No More.
Oh no!
I started fanboying.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, it's the dreadlocks guy.
So her disappointment was your excitement.
Yeah. Which, you know, really sums up the relationship I had with her.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. We had a good relationship for our age. Yeah, it's cool to see the guy back. Like I said, I wasn't around for him to be back for me, but it's cool to see that somebody who was a fan favorite, somebody who was very vocal about not liking the system in which he was in, get the passion to come back and see that fired up in somebody. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal. Yeah.
You know, a friend of ours, Mr. Dirk Manning, he is really charged up for karaoke at conventions. That's his thing. He hasn't gotten to do it in a long time. This weekend,
and having seen the guy, I'm a little surprised that that's
right.
His thing,
it's kind of out of his character, right? You would think,
yeah.
But you have to remember that Dirk's always working you, right? Dirk, right? That's a character,
yeah.
Right, and he has to keep he keeps kayfabe really well,
Right. Yeah. When you have a persona that you kind of put forward, which neither of us do.
I mean, I just try to be a good person. That's all that's the most that I can do.
In the sense of, like, we don't have like this, like, we're going to be an exaggerated version of ourselves.
Oh, sure. Just as an aside, I guess, but that's all what podcasting is
it's a bunch of asides.
Yeah. We would do that though, when we do those moderatings at the conventions. It's just a turned up version of ourselves, because there's 350, 400 people in there that honestly don't want to listen to, hey man, what's going on?
Well, until the voice of Ash Ketchum turns it around and wants to ask questions about you,
which was fresh.
But I mean, there are people out there who do that. Like,
right.
I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you. You're interesting, or whatever.
Right.
Or maybe they feel like they're like, oh, you know what? I don't really have that much to say, so I'm going to help you out by talking about this.
Right.
But
you know what? It's just cool to see people coming back, doing the things that they love, whatever that might be, whether it be wrestling, getting back into the convention life.
Next month.
gardening.
Is DragonCon. DragonCon is still happening. So.
DragonCon is still happening.
And you have a convention.
I have a horror convention that I'm going to in the first week or second week of September, here in Colorado. So I'll have some content from that coming up pretty soon.
OnlyFans a horror convention?
An OnlyFans horror convention?
Is that what it is? It's a horror convention?
Horror fans, yes. Horror. Couple R's, some O's in there.
All right. Could be a horror convention. You never know.
I mean, you know.
Never know. I've been to one. It's interesting.
I mean, I think that's what Las Vegas is, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they have some horror conventions here in LA.
I want to go. So, anything else going on in your life, my friend?
No, I think, I mean, the biggest thing is the new console. I have no conventions coming up. I am not traveling.
Do you even have like a UHD TV thing?
I do. This monitor behind me is a 4K HDR TV.
Oh,
monitor, really.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's everything for the show this week. Savannah will be back eventually.
In a month.
It'll be probably a few weeks. Because, like I said, professional life is kicking in, and you know, I don't pay her to do this. I don't pay Francis to do this. They just do it out of the kindness of their hearts. Because if you've watched any of my streams of me playing a video game, I don't know what the hell to say. I can't talk to myself. So I bring these two along to help me out through the conversation, because otherwise it would just be me rambling and giving up, and every stream would be like 15 minutes long.
It's a you know, I mean, I think that's a good thing, because I only know how to talk by myself, because what people may not know, and something I've never really said much ever, is for a long time I talked to myself.
I mean, we all
randomly.
do. We all do.
No, but aloud.
Oh.
Aloud.
I only have
I'm talking to
myself
myself in my head,
out loud.
but I do talk to myself aloud. Like I'll be in the car and I'm like, you know, I wonder if I should be doing this right now, or maybe I should go over there, and blah blah blah. And you know, in public I try to keep it on low key and I'll mumble it instead, and then I look like I'm insane. But I don't do it as much anymore, but I used to do it a lot. I would just talk to myself. I'm like, all right, I got to figure out what I'm going to do right now. Well, and when you do that enough and you actually start having a conversation with yourself, it becomes super easy to be able to translate that to a podcast. Like,
what you should do, since you're talking to yourself, is talk yourself into hitting the subscribe button or the follow or the bell, because this is going to end up on multiple outlets, hopefully, because the stream it stopped. The counter's back at 25 seconds right now for some reason. So I don't even know if this is going to make it onto YouTube this week, but still hit whatever you have to hit to follow.
Download the Twitch version of this.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. But yeah, join us every week here on Tuesday as we talk about stupid stuff and fun stuff and things about the stuff we don't really know exactly.
Like OnlyFans.
Francis, where can people find you on the internets if they so want to?
I mean, I don't know why, but @aka the other guy underneath right there. That's my Twitter handle. I'm tweeting more. I hope I can keep that up. I've been trying to tweet more because I found out that if I want the sponsored tweets, I need 10,000 followers, which I'll never have. But I also need to tweet 25 times per month. So I'm like, I can tweet a little bit more. Just tweet my thoughts. I mean, what is Twitter than just a mini blog of your thoughts?
I mean,
I've been tweeting more of my thoughts.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, you've been tweeting more too, I've noticed.
I try to. I try.
You've been putting stuff out there. Yeah.
I try.
So I'll probably tweet some more. And since there's sarcasm, new episode of the Online Friend Simulator up soon. Tomorrow will be the Super Geeked Up with a guest from DragonCon, because the host Jeff is going to be at DragonCon next week, which means no show, but still you get to see like kind of what we're talking about. It's an improv show, comedy. I do voices. It's weird. Go check it out.
Great community in the chat.
Great community.
It's fun. It's over there. You see me over there for about a half hour, and then I have to get out because I have to work at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so you get to see like 5 minutes of the show because we always start late. So,
well, but for everybody out there, if you are looking for Savannah, you can find her on Twitter at Master of Raptors. You can find me on the Twitters at 303_ninja. Scrolling along the top of the video, you have all the stuff up there to follow us. The email, thepoipodcast@gmail.com, POI Podcast at Twitter and YouTube. And I think is Facebook as well, but who the hell's ever there? You can call us 314.
A lot of people, really, it's weird.
Yes, I know, right? You can call us, text or voicemail at 314-764-7631. It spells out POI Pod 1 because at one time I tried to be synergetic and it didn't work. I think that's everything for this week. Like I said, I'll be on here playing the LSPDFR at some point this week. I think Thursday and Friday maybe. Otherwise, we'll be back here next Tuesday, 7:30ish Mountain Time. Translate that to whatever time zone you're in so you can watch us and participate. We'll be back next week, everybody. Thank you for joining, and we're out of here. Bye.